If you are taking an operating systems course, you will encounter disk scheduling problems on your exam. It is practically guaranteed. The absolute baseline for these problems is the first-come, first-served algorithm, or FCFS. You have to master this one before you can attempt any of the others. To get full marks, your professor will expect 4 specific deliverables: map the movement sequence, calculate the total head movement, find the average seek time, and draw a final movement graph. This layout shows the exact raw data you will be given to solve the problem. We have 8 incoming disk requests waiting in our queue, and our read-write head is currently starting at position 53. So, grab a piece of paper, a pen, and your calculator. We are going to solve this together. Understanding the rigid, step-by-step logic of FCFS is a mandatory exercise. We need to measure exactly how a simple queue behaves before we can start optimizing it. Step 1 is mapping out the actual movement sequence. The rule of first come, first served is exactly what it sounds like. We process the requests in the exact order they arrive. We do not reorder them, and we do not try to optimize for distance. This sequence shows the most common mistakes students make. You must start your sequence with the initial head position, in this case, 53. Do not start with the first number in the queue. You map from 53 and then draw an arrow directly to 98. Next, we need to calculate the physical distance the head travels between every single request. We do this by subtracting the adjacent numbers in our sequence. In this table, our first movement is from 53 to 98. The difference is 45. The next movement is from 98 to 183, which is a distance of 85. Now watch this third jump. The head moves from 183 all the way back down to 37. Always take the larger number and subtract the smaller one. Physical distance is an absolute positive value. Our distance here is a massive 146. We repeat this simple subtraction down the rest of the line. We log 85, 108, 110, 59, and finally, a tiny jump of just 2 cylinders from 65 to 67. Logging these individual absolute jumps is the only way to accurately quantify the physical wear and tear this exact algorithm places on the hard drive. Now that we have our individual jump distances, we can calculate We start by adding up every single value in the right-hand column of our table. Look at the bottom of the table. Summing these numbers gives us a total head movement of 640 cylinders. When you write this on your exam paper, put a clear box or circle around the 640. This secures your first major point for the problem. Next, we need to calculate the average seek time. The formula for this is simple. Take the total head movement we just found and divide it by the number of incoming requests. Here is the formula in action. Our total movement is 640. We divide that by 8, the number of new requests. Do not divide by 9. You do not count the starting position. 640 divided by 8 gives us our final average of 80 cylinders per request. Those two numbers, 640 total cylinders and an average of 80, give us the undeniable quantitative proof of how this algorithm performs. We have our math. The final step to get full credit is drawing the movement graph. We start by sketching a horizontal timeline that scales from 0 up to 200, which gives us plenty of room to map all the values from our queue. This graph maps our physical path. We start plotting at our initial position of 53. The line draws up to 98 and then continues forward to 183. Then we see the impact of that massive 146 cylinder jump. The line snaps all the way back across the timeline to hit 37. As we map the remaining requests to 122, down to 14, back up to 124, and finally settling at 65 and 67, the line zigzags wildly back and forth. Looking at this erratic, tangled graph physically proves the core flaw of FCFS. Processing requests strictly in the order they arrive creates a massive amount of wasteful, unoptimized movement. You now have your completed set of deliverables. You mapped the sequence, calculated the absolute distances, found your total movement of 640 and an average of 80, and plotted a complete graph. FCFS has exactly one advantage. It is perfectly fair. Because it strictly follows the arrival order, no request is ever skipped, and no process ever starves waiting for its turn. But that absolute fairness comes at a steep cost. By ignoring the physical layout of the disk, the algorithm forces the head to make massive sweeping jumps, jumping from 183 back down to 37, and then back up again. Modern operating systems very rarely use FCFS. That much erratic movement wears down the physical hardware rapidly and results in seek times that are completely unsustainable for a high-performance system. To see how engineers solve this, you need to learn the shortest seek time first algorithm, or SSTF. Reordering this exact same queue by proximity will drastically reduce that 640 cylinder total. You have to experience the heavy inefficiency of FCFS firsthand. It is the only way to understand exactly